Good morning, students. Once again, welcome you to your second class, and I hope you have recapitulated our previous class. So today we will start few more new topics, but before that, let us recapitulate what we have discussed or what we have learned in our first class. And if you can remember, we were doing the 4 chapters of our NCERT book, which is heat. And at first, before learning the entire chapter, we should know what is heat, and that's why I have given you the definition of heat. So the first thing we have learned is the heat, and you can remember it well that heat is a form of energy which gives the sensation of hotness and coldness of a body. And we have also learned the unit of heat is joule. Now the next one was the temperature. As you all know, I have already discussed that only with the help of sensation of touching, by touching the object, we can feel the heat. But we cannot measure the heat or how much hot one substance is. So for that we need one physical quantity, and that physical quantity is the temperature, which helps us to measure the degree of hotness and coldness. And hence we learn there are 3 scales which can be used to determine the temperature of a given substance, and those 3 scales are, one is the Kelvin scale, one is the degree Celsius scale, and one is the Fahrenheit scale. Though it is not in your syllabus, but then also I'd like to discuss one thing which can relate all these 3 different scales of temperature. So you please write down relation among the different scales of temperature. And what is that? That is K. That is the Kelvin scale. K minus 273 divided by 373 minus 273 equals to C. C minus 0 divided by 100 minus 0. And the last one is the degree Fahrenheit. That is, this is degree C. Degree F minus 32 divided by 212 minus 32. Now you must be thinking, have I gone crazy that I am writing 100 minus 0 when 100 minus 0 is 0? We all know that. But why I have used this kind of notation? Because if we are writing all the relation among these 3 scales like this, I can tell you one general relation which can help you to remember all these 3 relations. So what is that? The general one. In general, what we can write? Given temperature minus. Next one is the, in degree Celsius, what does 0 represent? 0 represents the temperature of ice, that is 0 degree Celsius. So that is called the ice point. Whole divided by, what is this? What is 100? At 100 degrees Celsius, what happens? Yes, the water boils. So we will write boiling, or yes, boiling point of water minus, again see the 0 degree, so ice point. So you must be wondering that for degree Celsius scale 0 degree represents the ice point. Then for this, yes, these are the same thing. For Kelvin scale at 273 Kelvin we will get the ice, and at 373 Kelvin the water will boil. Similarly, here also for 32 degree Fahrenheit we will get the ice. That is, this is the ice point for the Fahrenheit scale, and 212 is the boiling point of water in the Fahrenheit scale. So if you can remember this general relation, that is given temperature, that is whatever temperature you are given minus the ice point divided by the boiling point minus ice point, so you will get the required scale. So by using a relation, one equation, either this one, suppose you are given the Kelvin, you are given the temperature in Kelvin scale and you are asked to find out the degree Celsius. So what you will do, you will put the value of the temperature which is given in the Kelvin scale at this point. Then you are getting the equation. By solving the equation, you can find out that what will be the value of that temperature in the degree scale Celsius. I know you are now in class 7. So in this year you are going to learn the equation in mathematics after some time. So for that I am just leaving it over here, so that after learning the equation, how to solve the equation, you can do this type of maths in physics. Okay, so this is not in your syllabus, don't get worried. It is for your knowledge only. Okay, the next thing is today's topic. What are today's topic? Today's topic are, in my last class I have already told you about the thermometer. What is thermometer? Thermometer helps us to measure the temperature, as because temperature helps us to find out the degree of hotness, but with what kind of device we are going to find out the temperature? That name of that device is the thermometer. So today we will discuss about thermometer. We will write down the definition of thermometer. Then the types of thermometer. There are two types of thermometer you are familiar with. One is the clinical thermometer, another one is the laboratory thermometer. The thermometer that you use at your home to measure the fever, the temperature of your body when you get fever, that is the clinical thermometer. And what are the laboratory thermometers? The laboratory thermometers are those which are used in the labs, either in physics lab or in chemistry lab or any kind of laboratory. Okay, so we will come to know about different features of this type of thermometers. But before going into this, here I would like to tell you one more thing. We know what is heat. It is a form of energy. And I have also told you that a body becomes hot when heat is supplied to the body, and a body becomes cold when heat is taken out of the body. That means when heat is extracted from the body. So what does this mean? That to become a body heat, or if there is temperature difference, that means if one place is at 10 degrees Celsius and another place is at 20 degrees Celsius, then when there will be temperature difference, then the heat will flow. So you have to keep it in your mind that heat flows. What does it do? Heat flows. Heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Heat always flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. That's why to make a body cool, we have to extract the heat. Or suppose if I give you one example, a cup of hot tea, when left for a longer time, then what happens? It cools down. Why does it cools down? Because when you are keeping a cup of hot tea, then the temperature of that tea, because you have made the tea by boiling the water, so you have brought the temperature of the tea up to 100 degrees Celsius. So when you are keeping the cup of tea at your home, then what happens? The tea is now at higher temperature and the surrounding is at lower temperature, because we all know that even in summer also the maximum temperature that we attain is near about 50 degree. So 100 degree and 50 degree. So obviously there is temperature difference, and what I told you, when there will be temperature difference, the heat will flow, and the heat will flow from where to where? Yes, obviously from higher temperature to the lower temperature. So what does this mean? When you leave a cup of a cup of tea for a long time, what will happen? The tea will lose its hotness to the surrounding. Yes, this is to be marked, that the tea will lose its hotness to the surrounding, because the heat from the tea will flow to the surrounding. So that's why the heat always flows from higher temperature to the lower one. Okay, got it? So now we will discuss about the thermometer. As I already discussed that thermometers are of two types, which we will discuss maybe after a few minutes or in our next class. But for now, let us first discuss what is thermometer. So you please write down the definition of thermometer. So how can we define the thermometer? Write it down. It is a device which helps us to measure the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. So simply what we can say, as you all know, the degree of hotness or coldness is determined by the temperature. So in simple words, we can say that thermometer helps us to measure the temperature. So it is a device which helps us to measure the temperature of a body. Now, as I told you, there are two types of thermometer. Number one, clinical, and number two is laboratory. So there are two types of thermometer. One is clinical thermometer, another one is laboratory thermometer. So now we will be discussing about the definition of the clinical thermometer. Already I have told you that this is a thermometer which is used to measure the body temperature. Yes, so doctors use it in their clinic to measure the body temperature of human. So let us write down clinical thermometer. So this can be written like this. It is a device which helps us to measure the human body temperature. So, what is a clinical thermometer? A clinical thermometer is a device which helps us to measure the human body temperature, and it has a specific range. As I am describing it, that it is used to measure the human body temperature, so it has a specific range. Specific range means it has some limitation. It cannot go below that limit of temperature, or neither it can go the above of the highest limit. So what is the range of the thermometer? So write it down. This thermometer has a short range. That is, yes, small I dot, small e dot, it represents that is. That is, it can measure the temperature between, what is the range? The range is the 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. So what I told you, that it has a specific range, and that specific range is from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. So you have seen it at your home. Nowadays you may be using some kind of digital thermometers. Yes, digital thermometers, their mechanism a little bit different, which is not included in our syllabus, but previously or in many house, I know right now you are also using this type of clinical thermometers which has mercury inside it, and you will find it that in that thermometer the lower temperature that can be measured is 35 degrees Celsius. It is marked 35 degrees Celsius, and the highest marking you will find on the thermometer is the 42 degrees Celsius. So in our next class we will come up with the special features of the clinical thermometer, and we will learn the definition of the laboratory thermometer and laboratory thermometer's special feature. Till then, thank you and keep practicing.